tells me. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Just Mitchin. I'm Mitchy, and I'm here with a very, very special guest, Jimmy Gunzz. What's up, Gunzz?
What's going on with you, brother? What's going on, world?
Not much. I've been practicing that all day. I was like, should I throw up the guns? And I'm like, I kind of have to.
Sometimes you got to.
Exactly. So what has brought you into the hobby? You've kind of, when I first got in the hobby, it's been about a year that I came back into it, and you were one of the first people that kind of I noticed, like I followed right away, and you kind of have this very unique following because you're able to say some stuff that a lot of people can get away with and keep their following, but you also bring so much joy to the hobby.
Man, I can't be anything but me, and that's the way my whole life has been, man. In my life, people either love me or they hate me. A lot of my friends and me, or I call them, brothers, people I've come up with since grade school, middle school, and I'm 41. A lot of my friends, we don't think the same, but it's okay as long as you can have some sort of level of respect. But I can't bite my tongue, and I need to learn to, or maybe I don't. It's got me this far in life just fine. But if I see something, I gotta say something. I'm not the type who can sit and ride fences for anything. My opinions mean something to me. And I don't know why I feel like they should mean something to other people, because they obviously don't. I'm blocked by a ton of people in the hobby. But my friends, I got a lot of friends who have completely different thoughts than I do and views, even on Twitter. And as long as you just try to be as respectful as possible when you talk to people. I say what's on my mind, man. I should probably cut it out a little bit. But
100, dude, I'm with you 100%. Like, that's kind of why I relate to you so much in your content, because we agree on a lot of the same things. And I am agreeing with you in the same way as, like, our world's definitely missing that like, it's okay not to agree on everything. Like, there's right. Like, if we all agreed on everything, that'd be the most boring world in the place in the world. Yeah. So, like, not being able to agree on everything and just settling, like, I always say it's like agree to disagree kind of thing.
Sure.
Like, all right, I don't like this part of, like, what you're saying, but I like you as a person. Like, I can get over that. And some people are like, well, you like such and such, I can't get over that at all. Right, and I'm like, right. I'm like, you're missing a good person. Like, there's things. I mean, I'm just as blocked as you are probably on Twitter and the hobby. I piss people off all the time because I'll just go off on a tangent. Or, I mean, right. Did you see? I thought about you yesterday. Did you see those Ben Baller hats he came out with?
No, he's blocked. I blocked him.
Okay.
And I'm blocked by, and he's blocked me.
Okay. So I'm surprised because I shit on him pretty bad. And so he took the Seattle hat and the S, and then he put the Sonics E. And he put an A for from the Seahawks, the Seahawks jersey.
Okay.
And I'm like, way to fucking ruin a Mariners hat. I was like, you just took a perfect hat and you ruined it. And like, I was reading all the comments, all the Mariner players are loving it and everything. And then like 10 people from the hobby jump in there like, yeah, this hat's awful. And I'm like, thank God. Because I was sitting there and I'm like,
the only one. It's in my mind, man, sometimes if you don't like something, it's sometimes best just to scroll right past it. But when you're a business, somebody who does a business, they should want some real feedback from people. It just depends on how you say it, I guess. If you're not digging it and you're from the Pacific Northwest, right? If you're not digging it, something you're not used to, well, you should be somebody who's allowed to say something instead of somebody from Florida who loves it, who's not even from the area. You don't deal with our rain. These are our teams out here.
Exactly. Because you grew up in Portland, right?
Yeah, Southeast, man, Southeast.
All right, I grew up in Beaverton.
Okay,
so,
right.
Yeah, so I went to Aloha.
We used to go out there to get girls when we were young. I'm from like the 82nd and Foster area, man.
Okay.
Flats, those are my stomping grounds right there. So,
I have a few friends that grew up around that area. So yeah. I've been out to good old Gresham.
Oh,
it's always a fun time.
That was the other side. We're in the middle. You guys are over there, Clackamas, Beaverton up there, and then Gresham back behind us. I'm Southeast Portland, man.
Oh man, that's funny. You know what, Portland's Portland's a fun place. Used to be, at least. I wouldn't say in like the last year it's been fun, but definitely there's fun places to go and eat in Portland. What brought you down to Bend?
Bend area. I'm actually in Prineville.
Okay.
Wife's uncle moved out here. He grabbed himself, a bunch of acreage. We came out and visited, just fell in love. Didn't like the direction Portland was going. You know, had a beautiful house, in-ground pool, and moved our way up the little Cherry Park area in Portland. But I got two kids. I got my daughter who was going to school, and little Jimmy was a baby, and we just had a real talk and said, I barely made it out of there as a teen, not getting arrested, locked up, killed. And I was like, I want to raise my kids here. I just don't. And it was time to move. It was time to go. So California was coming in, buying up properties like nobody's business. So my value just shot up, and it was the perfect opportunity to get the hell out, man. Best decision we ever made.
That's where my parents are. My stepdad's at the time where he's ready to retire, and they're thinking more going to the South. And I don't know if you know, I have a brain disorder, so I sound like normal right now. I take these bad boys off, my voice changes, concussions, anxiety, and all that kind of fun stuff. So I actually live at home, and that's like where this kind of came from, because I bartended for a long time. Used to work for good old McMinimans.
Oh, there you go. Love McMinimum.
Oh, I fucking hate that company. Don't get me started on it.
Hey, you're going to go up to Gresham and go hit some golf balls around, and they come bring you some overpriced beers. It's not bad. It's not bad.
I mean, it's not bad. They do a very unique thing very well. Yeah. And they give back to the company perfectly well. But I have a question. You don't have to answer it. So was I correct when you said, you said on the Gunzz show you used to dance? You're a dancer. Did you work at Silverados? No, I was
kidding. It was a joke.
Oh, you were kidding? I didn't know if you were joking or not. I was like, if he is, I was like, because I was like, I had to ask, man.
I had a couple of my buddies from Portland, from my real life, in the chat, and they're starting to get back into the hobby, and we always just joke around. There's little jokes that we'll throw out. Growing up, my group of friends, we were in the clubs a lot, so always around that kind of stuff, and always in the clubs. But yeah, no, not me. Hell no.
Oh, dude,
but I'm 6'4", 270. Don't nobody want to see me up on no pole.
6'4", 270. I always think I'm big. I'm 6'1". I just got down to 257 today. I was excited. Nice. I was like, because I got up to 286, and I was like, yeah, I can't live my life this job. Yeah. Not being able to move well was like an issue, and eating too much good food. So I just took out gluten, took out carbs, and I've dropped like 30 pounds. And
but keto?
So I don't like keto. My mom does keto. It's too restrictive for me, because I like drink, like I like sweet tea, and because I don't drink alcohol, but I like fruity drinks, juices, and you can't have that with keto. So what I do is, it's called Prove It, and it's they're keto tones. It's like a little drink I drink every day.
Gotcha.
And it's good for the brain. It's really helped out my brain actually a lot, like the focus and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, she wants me to start selling it, but I'm like, I'm already trying to sell 50 different things.
Right. Yeah, I did the keto for a while. My whole family did, and I get what you're saying about the juice, man. So obviously our son wasn't on it, so we still had like apple juice and stuff in the fridge, and every once in a while, when nobody was looking, I'd open that fridge and I'd just one little sip of apple juice, and it had to be the equivalent to what a heroin addict feels when they shoot up, man, because juice is so delicious, and when you don't get it, you don't realize how much you miss it. Insane. I might try it again though. I
say low carb is probably like the best, because you're not like too restricted, because like I had like tater tots the other day and I didn't feel bad, because that's always my thing. It's like once I fall off what I'm doing, it's really hard to get back on, because the mentality of it. And I'm like, well, with low carb, I have the flexibility. If I have something like junky, just the next day I have to be better. Because keto, It's like always like you have to be perfect. And I don't like those limitations. It bugs me too much, like how I am. Where is I going, man? So You are, besides my dad, he's a big dude too, but you're the only other guy that I know who can just eat a spoonful of mayo and not like.
Oh, easy.
It's so easy.
That's so nasty, but easy. Yeah.
It's so good. Like, have you ever just done a mayonnaise sandwich? Just bored,
No.
like the board, and like
No.
I'd like white bread, throw mayonnaise on, and I'm good. Like my mom's like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" And I was like, "It's delicious."
Nah, but somebody did tell me that instead of butter to make a grilled cheese sandwich, you have to
Mayonnaise.
put butter on it. Mayonnaise instead.
That's what we do.
Changed my life. It's my bread don't rip anymore trying to spread butter. I get my mayonnaise in my sandwich. Yeah.
I would say
Yeah, I'm white. I think white people just love mayonnaise. Like we take vacations to like Hellemans and stuff like that. Like, you know, I don't know.
Well, I saw this like right before we were getting on. I was on TikTok, and there's this new trend going around. People are saying it's delicious: blue cheese with Nutella.
What?
Yeah, blue cheese crumbles with Nutella.
I'm gonna try that.
The guy I was watching said he's a big guy like us, and he's like, "This is delicious," and I was like, "Don't have fucking Nutella."
I'm gonna try that. Well, I don't have Nutella, but I'm gonna have Nutella. You write this down. Nutella. Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
So I thought you were Hawaiian.
No, I'm white, man. White boy.
Oh, okay.
I got something in me. I don't know, but I dark eyes, dark features. So it's I'm not out here running around Aryan or anything. I got something in me.
No, because you were rocking you had the cool whatever beads.
Oh man, no, my wife's brother, he works at a company that sends them all around the world, and he went to Israel, and he bought those from me in Jafar. They're olive wood.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, I wear them. It's a little bit of protection for me.
No, because you're big, and then like you get tan during the summer. I totally thought you're Hawaiian.
No. It's one of those things when we're talking about keto and we're talking about the restrictions and what you can't do. I grew up with all Asians. So, not being able to eat rice and pho noodles, that's the tough part about that. But no, I grew up with all Asians, but I'm a white boy.
Yeah, no, I'm white. Going to low, I grew up with a bunch of Hispanics, so I understand that it's nice. You get that cultural diversity and understand different cultures and all that kind of fun stuff. And I would definitely say, going back to the food real quick, the hardest thing for me is I'm gluten free. Like if I eat pasta or anything, there's something with the gluten, not like whatever chemicals, it makes me pass out. Like I'll just like be eating pasta and I'll doze over to the side and like go out.
Well, that's serious. Like the gluten thing is real.
Yeah, the gluten thing is real.
That was like a fad. Like I want all the gluten. Give me extra gluten. Because
like employee 84, like he has like the celiac awareness cards. Okay. So celiac disease is basically like, I don't have celiac, but celiac is like having a gluten allergy, but it'll just kill you.
Holy shit. Wow.
So yeah, gluten's a real thing. Like say today I weighed like 257. Say I go eat like a sandwich with bread, have some pasta, I'll gain like 7 pounds in a day. Like, cause it bloats me up.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I never thought it was a real thing. Like I was always bloated forever, uncomfortable. My mom's like, stop eating gluten. She's like, just take it out. Then when I was like serious about the diet, I took it out and like
realized you did have an issue with it.
Because we were eating like pasta. It was like every Wednesday night we'd have pasta, and we have like high chairs. And my stepdad's not that. He's older, but he moves well. But he's not. It's hard to pick up somebody who's 287 when they fall on the ground.
Sure.
And so like we're like, we have to figure out how to get small, like lose weight. But rice noodles. Well, I finally got to eat.
If the whole family tries to do it together too. When one person's trying something, it's impossible.
Yeah, no, it's so hard. So my mom and I do it together because my stepdad eats like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, I'd like it. We get along great, I'm sure.
Dude, he's chicken strips and like pepperoni pizza, and what is he? He's 68 years old and he weighs 205 pounds and like still referees football and like has no problem.
Yeah. God bless him.
I told you, man, that one time on Twitter. Next time you guys come up, if Aspen wants to go flying with him, he's been flying for over 40 plus years.
Yeah, and I told you. I mean, I don't know if you saw my view during the Gunzz show. Yeah. Right up on top of there is the Prineville Airport, and somebody who's like a father figure to me. He has 2 airplanes. He has a Stetson, and he has a Oh man, I forgot the name of the other one. He has two airplanes, so I do get to go up. I haven't been up in a while, but
They're too
I
fucking
get to. He's
tiny.
been flying forever too. In fact, your pops would probably know him. His name is Russ Cooper, and they're working on the whole DB Cooper thing right now. I'll send you a link. It's insane, bro. It's
I'll have
insane.
to ask. And no, my stepdad has been flying 40 years. Because it's funny because you're a St. Louis Cardinals fan. He's originally from St. Louis.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, he grew up in St. Louis and everything. What made you become a Cardinals fan?
Two of my best friends are Cardinal fans.
Okay.
Me and Ashley got into collecting for some reason. We grabbed onto Roger Maris. Roger Maris was a Cardinal.
Yeah.
Loved him, bought a bunch of his cards, and then we were like, we got to come up with a baseball team. We didn't watch baseball at all, and we just decided, you know what, Cardinals. Let's be like, Marco and AB, two of my best friends, and then that's how I started collecting Jack Flaherty too, because he was a little pitcher that was coming up, nobody really knew about, so I was buying up his cards like crazy when they were $1 a piece.
Oh, dude, he's a stud. I've listened to him talk a few times. He's a competitor. He's a funny guy.
Oh yeah. But
yeah,
in my collection now is a couple hundred, autographs, bunch of one-on-ones. I'm waiting for him to do something. I'm my own Jack, cash out on him.
Oh,
but hey,
man.
question: your dad, his airplane, where is his hangar located at?
So we
Is it
live off
Wilsonville?
no, in Beaverton, Tigard. So like Shoals Ferry. Like so Shoals Ferry, like if you're going up to like Roy Rogers, like where the new high school is.
Yep.
So if you go past the new high school and keep going right, I think you take a left on something Old River Road. You take a right on Old River Road, and it's out by that diner that's like out in the middle of nowhere.
Gotcha. That's the back way going to like North Portland and everything.
Yeah.
North, St. John's. You got that
opposite. We're heading more south. We're heading more towards McMinnville.
Okay. Just wondering, because my partner had his in Wilsonville. That's where his whole group is. So a lot of those people all get together. So I guarantee, I'll text you his name. I guarantee they know each other.
Yeah, no, Greg, it's a tiny little like airport because his planes, I think it's supposed to hold 4 people. It's tiny. You can't. Nope, I won't get in it. I don't even like flying normally, and especially like since my disorder is so bad, like get me in that thing, I'll try to jump out.
What kind of plane is he have?
I don't know. It has two motors on the sides, or is it a single engine? I could call him right now and he'd tell me.
Text me, DM me later.
I'll DM you. I don't know what kind of plane. I mean, he flies it. My sister wants to start being a pilot and flying it. They like that kind of stuff.
Right.
I'm good. I'll think
about this. Our hobby is cardboard, sports cards. So we spent a couple bucks on things like this. Their hobby is airplanes. They're spending $50 to $100,000, and when they got to fix something, it's $20,000 to $30,000. And oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, when he got his, because he didn't have an airplane for probably 20 years. Like we moved out here in 2001 from the Midwest. He sold his airplane when we moved out here. And then he just got it like 3 years ago. So he didn't have an airplane for like 16 years. And then he gets his airplane and somebody steals the radio in it. And I go, how much is that? And he goes, about more than my car. He drives my car now because why'd you drive my car? And he goes, because I had to pay for the radio.
Oh, wow.
Because he's one of those guys. He owns an airplane, but like won't buy like a new pair of shoes. I think it's the funniest thing in the world. And I'm like, hey man, you like what you like.
Right. Not saying, not counting your money, saying you guys have a bunch of money, but if somebody owns an airplane, there's a couple bucks in the family.
He's good with his money.
People with the most money that I've known, you wouldn't even be able to tell. They don't wear nice shoes. They don't have Gucci belts. They don't drive Mercedes Benzes. People with real money they dress normal.
That's so funny you say Mercedes Benz. So that was before I got sick. I was driving a Benz. I had a 2006 E350, and then when I got sick, his Pontiac went to crap. So now he drives around my 2006 E350, and he hates it. He's like, I can't believe I'm driving a Mercedes. He's like, because he had to get new brakes on it. He's like, do you know how much new brakes cost? And I go, a lot. And he's like, why would you buy this car? And I was like, because I like this. I like the symbol. It's a beautiful car. And he's like, that was the dumbest purchase you ever made. And I was like, yeah, I probably made dumber.
Yeah, but I was into BMWs a lot. I've had like 7 different BMWs, and yeah, every time you have to go get something fixed, And BMW stands for bring my wallet, because this stuff's expensive, boy. So luckily I'm out of that now. I drive $2,000-$3,000 cars, and I've never been happier. I don't have a car payment. All my cars are paid off, and I love life.
See, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah. So besides the Cardinals, I'm guessing behind you're a Raiders fan.
Oh, yes, sir. Big Raider. Loving this year, too, so far.
I was just about to say, how are you feeling about this year?
Sweep the Chiefs. About to sweep the Chiefs.
That's I wasn't expecting the Raiders to be already under, what is it, year 2 with Gruden? Year 3?
This is year 3 with him.
I'm surprised. Yeah, it's year 3 because last year was year 2 with AB. That was Hard Knocks was a fun show.
Man, I didn't even watch it, but I'll tell you what, I was so excited when we got AB because I was like, finally, Carr's gonna have somebody who can catch, who's not gonna lead the league in drops like Crabtree and Coop. I was like, he's finally gonna have somebody, and then AB went and pulled.
Bissonnette ruined his life.
Man,
Bissett, he hit him once in AB's. I don't know. AB looked good on Sunday. I watched a little bit of it when I was watching the Packers struggle against the Jaguars. Once you get off, I'm probably going to talk about that. I don't watch football well. I get very frustrated, especially when you have Aaron Rodgers out there and he's playing like sometimes Aaron Rodgers plays, which is not good. Who's your PC with? He's got Devontae Adams. That's all he needs to throw. Yeah,
but when you got one guy, like you guys had somebody, a wide receiver who was supposed to be really good, Lazard.
Well, so you have Lazard, he's an undrafted core. Yeah, so he's coming back this week because that's what he tweeted out. So we'll see. MVS Mardez Valdez Scantling.
Mm-hmm. He's
like Cooper. He can make that. Nobody can really cover him downfield, but he can't catch the ball.
Right.
He's a drop machine. I mean, I wouldn't put him on Cooper's level of talent, but he drops the ball too much. And then he's just got random ass people he throws the ball to. I mean, he spreads the field so well. I think he threw to 9 different people last week.
Yeah.
But he throws to Devontae 9 times. He's always been that way. I mean, when we had Jordy Nelson, it was Jordy 12 times, and then everybody else got a little piece of the action.
Sure.
And Devontae's so dominant. And then you got Aaron Jones, who's coming out of the backfield with Jamal Williams. The Packers' issue is they need to stop the run. Their defense is atrocious.
Well, the Packers went and did the Rodgers what they did to Brett after the quarterback instead of some help. That's oh gosh.
Oh, you can't see it. So right here, that's Brett giving you the finger.
Oh.
It's
at least he's giving me the finger and not something else.
We've
dirty dog, Brett.
We've had that because I'm 3rd generation Packer fan. So my dad's had that since the 90s. He gave it to me, and I think I was in the 3rd grade. I took it to school for show and tell, and I got sent home because he's sitting like this.
Right. That's good.
Who do you PC with the Raiders now?
My daughter's PC's Bo Jackson, and her collection is her Bo Jackson collection is nuts. I PC Carr. That's Steve PC's car as well. So that's a joint PC of ours. Another joint PC of ours is Renfro. And I PC Jacobs and just started PCing Waller. But of course I got Howie. I got all the old guys. I got to have some autographs from all of them. My Raiders collection is nuts, bro. Nuts.
Is it? Dude,
yeah,
that's dope.
It's 4 3-row boxes that hold the hard plastics. 4 of those full of autographs, jerseys, rookies. It's insane. I don't even like looking at it because I'm like, this is so much money.
But I mean, Jacobs is still young, so you don't know what he could possibly do. That's the best thing with cards. It's with certain players, it's an investment. With certain players, you're just buying nothing that's ever going to return.
Sure. Like Abrams, love him. Our safety. I got probably 15 of his autographs. I'm never going to get the money back out of those that I put into him.
Oh, I'm the same with Mitch Haniger.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to football, though, you get your money out of quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers.
Yep.
Anything else is just a novelty item for your collection. Exactly. You're not going to get the money back. Maybe a coach. You're not going to get the money back.
Yeah, because I don't really buy too much football because in my opinion, football is freaking expensive. Compared to like
especially
baseball.
when you got such a good team. I mean,
oh, dude, I don't own. I mean, I have a bunch of like base and like numbered cards. I don't think I own an autograph. The only autograph Packer wise is this far photo, and that was racked to me by somebody in the hobby. Just sent it to me.
Dope. Well,
yeah.
And that's a segue into a whole different part of this hobby, man. Is stuff like that's amazing. I love it. That's why I'm here. That's why I stay. When people were doing things for people, that they don't even really know, that they just talk to online. It's there's so much heart in the right areas of this hobby, man. It's
exactly.
So cool to hear somebody gets something so great from somebody. That's awesome.
Yeah, James Benoit. I think it's Ron Tim. I don't know he has a weird freaking Twitter handle, but right. Yeah, he just hit me up because I was running a weekly rack thread on Mondays, and then I haven't done it for 2 weeks because it was the same people asking for cards and the same people giving cards. So I'm like, I'm gonna stop it for a couple of weeks, and then maybe we can restart it because it's fine to rack it, but when I see the same people asking. Sure. And the same people giving, like we're not rotating. Like it should all come together for everybody. Right. But yeah, he hit me up from it, and he's like, "Dude, he's like, I have this." He's like, I love Brett, but I know you're a huge Brett fan. Would you take this? And I was like, what? It's like I don't want it. I was like, because I'm always like, no, I'm good. But then we worked our way out to get it here and everything. But yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I mean. I don't have like a lot of my money personally. Like everything I get from like buy for the hobby is like complete hustle. It's like either from like my partnerships or like just hustling my butt off. Like I can't work a normal job. Because when I walk out into leave my house, like my brain does not compute how to be a human anymore.
Not a human. What happened?
So it's a long story. So we can go when it first started was I want to say 2015, 2016. I've had plenty of concussions through my life. Played football, did MMA. So I've been hit in the head so many times. But it was, I was living with my brother and his roommate, and I was working at McMinimans. And I wasn't living the healthiest life. I was drinking a lot, going out. I'd literally get off McMinimans, walk across the street to the next bar. And I was off work one night, got really drunk with a friend, and we decided to get into a shopping cart. Mm-hmm. And he was probably 5'3", 130 pounds, and I'm a big dude, and he's pushing me around and decided to go off the curb. I went out of the shopping cart, knocked myself out. Didn't realize I was knocked out because the more concussions you have, the easier are there to get and the less you realize the symptoms. Mm-hmm. So went and took some ibuprofen, went back to the bar, got drunk, and went home, went to sleep with a concussion, woke up the next day with a stutter, started into with the bad tremor. I worked my entire bartending shift just stuttering and making fun of myself because that's just how I get away with certain things, especially behind the bar. I've said some I would say questionable things as jokes, but when you do it all the time, you get away with it. Sure. And I just got away with it with my personality. And then the next day I come into work and I can't talk. And we go see the doctor, get the MRI and everything. And they're like, it's anxiety. And they're not listening to me that I have this history of concussions. So a couple of weeks ago, and I go to bed, wake up the next day, I'm perfectly fine. Like nothing ever happened. A couple of weeks later, my brain kind of flips back into that loop. And then it's 4 more weeks, wake up, I'm fine. And then we go 3 years down the road. And I'll tell you, for 3 years, I had a headache every day, this monstrous, terrible headache. Nothing would take it away. And then I was working, and then my life was now we're up into 2018, 2019. Life was getting pretty bad for me. I went from McMinimans to the Pepper Mill in Aloha. I was running that, and I hated the setup. So I was like, I'm out. So I went from being an assistant manager to a general manager to a server at Red Robin, which hurt my ego a little bit because I wasn't allowed in the bar. I'm just waiting tables, and I didn't like that. That's not how I roll. I'm very much a leader, and I like to make the money. Mm-hmm. And my dad and I butted heads really bad, and life was just really, really hard for me. I was at the point where I was pretty much done. That's why we talk about mental health on this channel a lot. I was done. I was just I wasn't gonna kill myself, but I was if the opportunity came and something happened, I don't think I would have fought for it, fought for my life. I was just over it. And I was working one day at Red Robin, and if anything could go wrong that night, it did. and I just had a panic attack and I started stuttering really bad, and the stutter turned into a gait issue. I couldn't walk well, and I'm like trembling. So I get home. They get me off the floor. I get home, and I would say since March 12th, 2018, I've had these like I've had to learn how to completely retalk. So like here, hey, hey Jimmy, how are you doing? Like I can formulate words properly. Put these on for some reason. When I have headphones on, my brain can, and I wasn't faking it that there. I have to tell myself because you think you're faking it. Like my parents get frustrated because I can play video games with these on. I'm bullshitting with somebody, no problem, sounding completely normal. Somebody will come in, I'll have these on, and I'll try to communicate to them, and I can't. Like I'm stuttering like that.
So by having those on, they have to be plugged into something, or just by wearing them.
So just by wearing them, I have a pair of like ones that I just put in. They're like little ones. They work pretty well because I'm sensitive to sounds. So I'm like good in the grocery store till we get to the checkout aisle, and then all the beeping and stuff, and that's when we put in the headphones. Because I'll just start shaking, and then I have tics. I don't tick too bad when I'm so engaged like this, but if I'm like if it's something I don't want to do, or like something surprises, like anytime my mood changes from just normal to like if I get super excited or super down low or don't want to do it, like I'll tick. And my ticks can be like my head like will tick back like this, or like I'll make a sound. Like one of them is so annoying. I'll keep doing it. Or like my favorite one is I will just start repeating dickhead over and over.
Wow.
Like dickhead comes out of my mouth.
Man, the brain is so fragile, and it's tons of little highways that are going. And when it's like when people have a stroke, they could wake up and they can't talk, they can't walk, they can't do anything, and all of a sudden a song can play and it just like connects something that wasn't connected a second ago, and all of a sudden they can talk again. It is so weird. That's how this is. Man.
So I've done all this like physical therapy because what I have is called functional neurological disorder, which is basically a blanket disorder for we know something's wrong with your brain. We just don't know how to fix it. So what I've been told is like I've seen numerous doctors, neurologists, specialists. Some of them will say it's all anxiety and depression, and some will say it's concussion based. And then I finally got a good therapist. She says it's just both. And like my physical therapist, he's like, it's a mix of both. He's like, there's no way with the depression and anxiety you're dealing with, and then add on all the brain injuries you've had sustained. Like there's no way your brain isn't having some kind of issues, and yours just comes out physically. And how they describe it is like how you said, there's A to B is not working anymore. So with physical therapy, we've had to find a way to get to C. So connect it back together. So there's certain like exercises, like when I'm like really stressed out, like deep breathing. I have a weighted blanket that can help calm me down, because when I get explosive or blow up or get frustrated, I internalize it onto myself, which can become dangerous. And like I have, hydro flasks. Like one time I got mad and I went boom and I dented it completely in half. I still have it up there because it's a reminder of what not to do. But that's why, like, for me, the first year of dealing with this disorder, I want to deal with the mental health aspect. Because being an athlete, being around athletes, mental health isn't talked about. It's and I come from a military family. Like my biological dad, like he thinks this is all bullshit. Like we hang out every once in a while, but he sees that there's an issue, but he thinks there's a way like that I can just get over it. Like I can eventually get better, but like he thinks like I can just do certain things when I can't do them.
What does he feel about PTSD in soldiers?
I'd have to ask him that. Real? I wonder what he'd say. He watches the show, so he'll let me know. My brother was in the Army, and it's very funny. My brother and I are very different people. He's very much, I would say, sits very left and doesn't really like his time with the military, but like he suffers from PTSD. He had a year, he didn't see combat, but he spent a year in Djibouti, and just the stress of being on a base gave him PTSD. He's going to school and going to become a teacher, but he's got disability from it, from the VA and everything. But I wonder what my dad would say. He's an interesting guy when it comes to that. He's very red ass, I would say, very hard headed, that kind of way. I mean, he's
And I love it. God bless them.
oh yeah,
There's two different kinds of people in this world. There's, you got your military, and then you got civilians. And
yeah.
I'm a civilian. You're a civilian. We're not hard asses like that. If we were hard asses, we'd have been in the military.
I'm
Well,
a
I
vet,
didn't have felonies when I was a kid. But
Jimmy. I'm a veteran.
Oh wait, what? Really? Why didn't I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I'm a vet. No, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I was only in the Guard. So how it worked was my dad was in the National Guard at the time. So he spent 4 years in active duty and then went to the reserve side and then went to the Guard side. I think he has like 29 years of service duty.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I was deciding to go into the military, because I was a really good baseball player, blew my elbow out, had to get Tommy Johns, all that stuff. And I was like, there's no hope, not going to play baseball. I need to figure something out. And I wanted to go active duty, but I also had a girlfriend at the time. And then my dad was like, go to the Guard, you'll go to school. I did Guard side. Terrible decision, but his rank got me a full-time job in the Guard for a little bit, which was really cool because I worked in a warehouse and just got away with murder basically for like a year. And then went and just did the rest of my time with my unit, got offered to get out early because Obama's army was something special. So got out. My brother he did 3.5. He ETS'd early because Obama's army was broke. My mom was in for 2 years, got a medical leave because when she had me, the pregnancy was so tough that they just offered her that. My dad was in, and then like it skips a generation. So like my grandpa, and then my stepdad's old enough. Like my grandpa and my stepdad didn't serve in Vietnam, and then my dad doesn't know his dad. But then like all three of the great grandpas I know served in World War II, which is really cool to think because that I couldn't imagine. Like I know a lot about like today's war and today's combat, and I know a lot about World War II, and I'd much rather fight in today's combat than back then, because they kind of know what the true shit is in the world.
Yeah, those people were in the mud, like getting off boats and storming
DDA and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, military was something that when I was younger, I would have liked to have done, but I got in trouble when I was 17, picked up a couple juvenile felonies. And back then, they didn't give you the option to, go into the military because they weren't hurting for soldiers.
Right.
So that wasn't even an option. And so, when a recruiter would come up to you and you'd be like, oh, yeah, I got 4 felonies, they'd turn and walk on it, nothing to do with you. And then by the time I got my record expunged, by then I was smart enough that I'm not going in. I want to live my own life. I don't want to be told.
See, that's how my dad never got felonies or anything, but he grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in Bayview, which is his high school, I think, was like 80% black. So like he grew up in a rough side of town, definitely ran with a rougher crew. And like he said, like if he didn't join the military, he would have been in a whole bunch of trouble. And that kind of stuff. And I like your story, how you said how blessed you are because of how like you've kind of gone through it all. You've been like how you're saying with your friends, like you guys have been through a lot of shit. And that's inspiring to see for people who have struggled in life and know that there's still a way. And my favorite thing I think you've ever said, like from your tweets or anything, was when Aspen saw you drinking that blue cheese and you're like, get good grades in school so you don't have to do what I have to do for money. And nothing. And I would say this, like, I don't have kids or anything, but whoever's watching this, 100% true. Get good grades in school so you don't have to do stupid shit for money.
Yeah. Anybody who knows me well on social media knows I'm not hard on her, but I am, and
you have to be.
How I think the world of her, and I think that she's going to be one of the best people in the world as long as I don't fuck her up somehow. So I mean, my kids are my world, and my whole goal in existence is to give them better than I had and teach them everything and lead them the right way. That way, when it's time to push them off, I'm pushing off some smart kids. I'm very honest with my daughter about life. Everything else, anything she asks me, I tell her. Yeah, she does well though.
That's good.
know that she started school early. She jumped a grade. So she just turned 13 and she's in high school.
Oh,
she's 2 years younger than everybody else. And she's doing junior math. So yeah, she goes to state for math and everything. She's very, very bright.
Okay, I didn't know. So, because I knew she was in high school because you mentioned it a few times. So I thought she was of high school age. That's crazy. She skipped a grade.
Yeah,
Does she have issues being that young in high school?
Just being different, because sometimes kids can be really mean.
Kids are assholes.
Well, kids are very accurate, is what it is. In how they get you, and so they push her aside because she was younger. And yeah, she had to deal with that. But she's played basketball, so she's always been 2 years physically younger than the other kids. And she had to make up. With hard work. And when she's going into classes with older kids, math classes, she had to make up by being the person that they came to and asked for help. She does well. She's doing all right.
That's awesome. It makes you a tougher kid because I was bullied a lot growing up, just for my personality and not knowing my place in this world. And I think a lot of it was anxiety, and I'd overact out. So then people are like, what the hell is wrong with him? Like, why does he always need all the attention? So how kids are and guys, especially how guys are. So I definitely did that.
I had ADHD. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, I was, for the longest time, I couldn't figure out, I was a really good athlete. I'm like, why don't I fit in with anybody? They need me out on the field, but I can't fit in with these guys. And then just now, finally focusing on myself, I was like, yeah, because I couldn't sit still and I ran my mouth so much.
Right.
I just pissed people off.
And just like we do on Twitter.
But I'm good at it. My feelings don't get hurt anymore. I would say me and this guy are no longer friends, but he was a really good friend of mine. I got sick, and then he just kind of went and did his own thing. He has his own problems. But my friendship with him for 3 years at McMinimans taught me how to be mentally tough, because I always thought I could run my mouth well and get under people's skin. Nobody could get under anybody's skin better than him. Oh, dude, he would just run his mouth, get under my skin. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, people don't get under my skin. And it just taught me, people can say whatever they want. It's just words. It's not going to hurt me.
Right.
I'm what am I going to go cry to my mom? She ain't going to do anything. She's going to tell me not to be a pussy.
See, I grew up with the kind of dudes that would do anything for you, but nothing was off the table. That your deepest, darkest would get pulled up in front of everybody, and we just snap on each other constantly. And we love each other to death, but we can go at each other. So
that's how him and I were. And then once I got sick, because I couldn't do for him anymore. So then he stopped doing for me, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, when you're at your lowest point, I was there. So it was one of those things where that bugged me for a while, and now I'm just I have good, the hobby, I would say, saved me with people wise, because I really turned my back on the world and kind of really dug into myself. That's when I was really struggling. This was when the disorder was already kicking in, and it was kicking my ass really bad, and I was having some trouble with it. I ended up in the psych ward for a day, and then my parents helped me get out. They're it's 12 hours, and then they let me out. But I had a breakdown, and then ever since then, that was in July of last year. And then I started really getting the hobby, really focusing on myself and focusing on other people. I've made some great relationships in this hobby.
Awesome.
And friendships I never thought I would make. I mean, Sue Tiska is one of my best friends. I never thought I'd be best friends with a lesbian from New York.
Yeah.
In the best way. I never thought I would be. I'm really good friends with her. John Bigos, New York Republican, a New Jersey Republican, hardcore Trump supporter. Never thought I'd be great friends with him. It's funny. I tend to like those East Coast people apparently than I do the people here. But
the internet really does make a doorway for people who have some issues other places. And the good thing about the internet is you can reinvent yourself. You could be in the sports card community, and if that don't work, you could be like, you know what, I'm going to start collecting toys, or I'm going to pop to a comic community, or, you don't want to burn bridges on your way, but there's always another door that can be opened to where when things seem hopeless or look hopeless we all joined the sports card community out of nowhere. So, anybody can switch to anything else too.
I've had those moments in this. My first time I ever sold anything, I thought I was going to get kicked out of the sports card community. I was selling these. I was just selling cards, and I didn't really understand the shipping aspect of it. I was doing everything PW, paper white envelopes, and I'm with my disorder, I have extremely OCD because I forget things. So everything I do is done in a process, and it's done meticulously, and it's checked twice. So I know what I did was right. I'm not gonna say this person's name because he tried to destroy my whole following, and I was brand new into the hobby. And I sent him some cards in an envelope. He literally opens them. Well, he says I didn't send him anything in the envelope, but when you see him do the video, you can see the back's torn open. I call bullshit, and I'll say bullshit for my entire life. But like, the one thing I would say is people don't get the story; they just jump in, and that's the one thing about the internet I hate. Like we saw that. I've seen that a few times with Blowouts had their issue with that one person like last week, and Ben from Midwest jumped in and was like, whoa, this is what happened. And I'm like,
and that's Ben. Ben's awesome. Well,
Ben's awesome.
Fix the situation, but you're right. A lot of people they dogpile. They see a situation, then that's one of the horrible things about social media, though, is that somebody could read something, not have their mind made up about it, start reading the comments, and other people will make their mind up for them.
100%.
And it's unfortunate. It was kind of like the guy who's just selling the boxes from Seattle. He had already bought them for $25, and then he's trying to sell them for a profit. Is he an asshole for selling for a profit? Well, no, that's what everybody does in the hobby. He already supported the charity by buying the boxes in the first place, and people were talking to him like he just broke into a church and stole crosses off the wall. And it was like, come on, guys. And I posted a link to the charity place, and I was like, everybody bitching here, go ahead and make a donation. Oh, do you need cards to make a donation? Now who's
no bad? I get in the arguments like with that. Like, I don't like that people flip that kind of stuff because then it sucks for me. Like, I haven't been able to go to Target or Walmart and find cards in forever.
Sure.
Like, it's annoying. But I'm luckily connected with people who their Walmarts and Targets are like falling off the shelf with cards, and they'll send it to me for cost. Or there's people out there like Employee 87 who will send stuff for cost. Just there's people out there that help other people out, which makes the hobby so much better than it is, because there is this, I don't know, are you in Ben's Discord group on Midwest Breaks?
I'm not, but as you're talking about employee 80, what is it?
Employee 84.
84, yeah. I mean, well, it shows what kind of guy he is by what he's getting involved in with the canned food drive and everything else.
Yeah.
There's awesome people. There's people where the dollar isn't everything, but I guess I'm kind of a capitalist. I'm not going to knock somebody for making money. Like, who am I to
no, exactly.
tell someone what they could,
I'm the same way. Like, this is why when, like, especially out here, what we deal with is like everybody wanting like socialism, especially in Portland. This is one of the only countries in the world where, so I would say, like, for me, like, I'm disabled. I can't work a normal job, but I can come onto the internet, stream on Twitch, which we're starting to grow a following, stream on YouTube, have my own podcast, and like slowly start making money. There's not anywhere else in the world where you can do that.
Right.
And no, on Employee 84, real quick, he's got this employee, his fun house, and you just have to it's all private, and then you just have to click, and if he accepts you, he accepts you. And like, people just post cards on there and like, here's for free, or like, he found a blaster box of Upper Deck 2016-2017 hockey, series 1 or 2, I can't remember. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. Too bad I'm broke. And then somebody like bought it for me. And I was like, whoa, you don't have to do that. That's epic. And then talking about like generosity, like the one thing, who did I rack? Big B, when you're talking about him, the Packers fan. Like, I didn't really have that $20 to spend. I think I have $25 in my PayPal. And that's what I have to spend on whatever, like cards, food, like if I want to go out or do something special. And like, I'm one of those people, and it seems like you, like, I will give like the shirt off my back to a stranger just because I feel like, I don't know, I'm just a very giving person. And like, I don't need anything in return. I'm not saying this for like this and that. I'm just saying it for like, I wish there was more people like us in ways. Sure. And that's the thing in the hobby that I enjoy so much, is there are so many people like that. It blows my mind. It's like the one community where there is so much capitalism, but then you have this small group of people who rather give than get.
Sure.
Which
it is a blessed group, man, because we see it all the time. We see it day in and day out, on Twitter. You got a group that's real bad and rough, but then you got this group that just does things, constantly. There's always something going on for somebody else, and that's
Exactly.
kind of the stuff that keeps you checking in. That's awesome.
No,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's the best part about it. I mean, like selling the Greg Carandler thing for Ryan wasn't even a thought. I was like, oh, he needs help. Perfect. I can help another vet out. And I was like, I'll get a little bit of money off this too. And perfect. It helps us both out. Like that
Awesome.
res I did. Like it's just those kind of things are awesome. That's why like Ben from Midwest Box Breaks, like he's helped me out a bunch, and I will whenever he needs help, I'm always there to help him. Because
See,
that
that's one of the
guy,
tough things too about having that giving heart. And then especially if you're somebody who does it a lot of people hit you up, and you can't, like, you hit me up about the thing, and I couldn't,
right?
and man, and you wish you could, and you'll do 3 the week before and 3 the week after, but at that moment
100.
it doesn't make sense, and you're like, I can't, you can't do it all. It's
No,
tough.
and that's the
I
hardest
wish
thing
I'd win the
because
lottery tomorrow, and not just because I want a Ferrari, because I would buy a Ferrari, but I would give a lot of it away. A
no, that's
lot
the
of it.
hardest thing for me. Like when people hit me up and I'm like, "Fuck, I'm broke," and
And
I'm
right,
like, but like I will always try to figure out if I can't help them financially. Luckily, like you and I have the like just your retweet helped me out. Probably got eyes
sure,
on it. Like we have the following. Even like mine's smaller than yours. I have 1,500 people that follow me on 2 Twitter, so that's 3,000 eyes. Well, let's just say that's 6,000 eyes because I have 2 different Twitters. They're both, I think, 1,500 each right now. And even if it's the same people, they're still seeing it twice. Like it's those
sure.
eyes, and then that goes. If they like it, that goes to somebody else. Even if they're not following me, it keeps growing. And that's the great thing about like Twitter and everything. Before I let you go, what do you think about that new? Have you seen the new Loop app that they're
No,
breaking on? Okay. So there's been some fuck, who's calling me? I need to get to my phone so I can see it. So it's Loop. And what is it? It's the I know who it is. It's the counselor calling me, automated system to make sure that I remember my appointments Thursday at 1:15.
no.
So it's this app. It's only on Apple, but here and then they'll have like streams. Fucking there we go. And then like
Uh-huh.
you can click the stream there, and then breakers can break on there. And right now it's not like group breaks or anything, it's all personals.
Gotcha.
And people aren't happy with it. They feel like they're being left out because it's not on YouTube and it's not group breaks. It's just personal boxes. And that was a big thing on. I was wondering if you were in Midwest Box Breaks Discord, because that was the big chat today. It was some people were hating on him pretty hard about it, and I'm like, dude, one, you do so much for everybody else, and this is
Hating
your
on Ben?
community. It's his community. Like
Yeah,
that's the thing that I think people forget is if Ben didn't come up and say, I mean, somebody probably else would have, but we don't know that. So if Ben didn't come out with Midwest, like we would have never known like what it is to have a close knit community where you can come on to Rip and Gypsy, you can come on to the Gunzz show, you can come on to Midwest, and you see the same people.
yeah,
It's a lot of the same people in the same chat rooms, and none of the. I mean, I've never had an issue with any of those people. I've had issues with other people, but
sure.
most of those people, when you go in, are all very nice, all very welcoming, and will educate you.
Well, I've had the honor of personally meeting Ben at the National 2 years ago, Chicago, when he was, he wasn't first getting in, but he was kind of just getting in.
Yeah,
And he knew some people and had some followers, but he was kind of come on, man, you're going to the bar with me. We're gonna go hang out with Pino Man and baseball collector and everybody else, all the YouTube big dogs, and took him over there, and he had a great time. And it's somebody that I really like. I got a lot of respect for Ben with what he does, seeing what he's built, the community like you're talking about that he's built has
yeah,
been awesome. It's been great that everybody can, kind of work together, or, retweet each other, put people in that direction. And, anytime I'm talking about, the breakers that I trust and deal with, he's one of the 3 that
yeah.
I write
Rip and
down.
Gypsy. I like Rip and Gypsy. I'll sometimes break with Crack and Wax, but I like Buck City. I don't do a lot of football, but I like what Chris and Adam do.
Love Buck City, Rip and Gypsy, and Midwest. Those are my 3.
Yep. And I've never ripped with Rip and Gypsy.
Chris and Adam about going back next month. So
Really?
to go guest break with them, hang out for a few days again. So they just flew me out last month. for like 3 or 4 days. Went out there and got to hang out with all those guys. And then 2 months before that, me and Aspen did a road trip.
Yeah.
We were there and hung out for a few days. So.
Yes, because I've kept you longer than you're supposed to. But my last question was, I don't think I could spend that much time with one person in a car. Did you guys ever have a moment where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm about to be done with her? Or was she ever have a moment where she's about to like just backhand dad?
She slept the whole time. I drove 8,000 miles. I saw America. She slept through America. But nah, man, when you have somebody in your life, you know, and I don't know if you have kids or not.
No.
You know, it's different. You know, I breathe her breaths. You know, if she's not around, I'm wondering what she's doing, what she's thinking about. Like that's my daughter. That's my best friend. That's my baby. There's nobody. I couldn't have went with my wife for 2 months across America. I couldn't have went with my son for 2 months across America. Me and Aspen have a special bond. You know, it's that daddy daughter bond that we have, and that's my little buddy, and I would do that in a heartbeat again tomorrow. And
that's how I am with my mom. My mom's my best friend.
2 months.
And I have no problem saying that. Like, I'm a grown man. My mom's my best friend, 100%. One person I can come to for absolutely anything without judgment. I mean, there's always that mom judgment, but like, I can get over that. Like, I can get over like her, but like otherwise, like I can be like, Mom, I screwed up. This is what happened. Can you help me out? No problem. Or I'll be like, Mom, I'm having issues with this person. What's your advice? And the one thing I've learned as I've gotten older, I never wanted to listen to that advice because you never want to listen to your parents' advice. You think you're smart enough to do it on your own. My life would have been so much easier if I just listened to her on probably like 10 key decisions in my life.
Isn't that crazy, though? And that's what I tell my daughter constantly. I'm like, trust me. You know,
I've been through this. No,
yeah,
I do that with
when she wants to do things her own way, and you know, she doesn't want to listen to dad. You know what? Go fine, go live, go figure it out. You'll be back. You'll be back. You know?
I try to help my sister with that. We're 10 years apart, and I'll tell her, and she just won't listen. I'm her older brother. She doesn't care. And then like she'll come back and be like, I should have listened to you. I'm like, yeah, like I've made that mistake. Like I literally am watching you do the same thing I did the same exact way. But anyways, Jamie, so how we end every interview is with 6 questions. They're just real quick, rapid fire, nothing too crazy. But all right, you ready?
Yeah.
What's your favorite food?
Hamburgers.
What do you put on your hamburger?
Mayonnaise.
That's it? Like no ketchup? No.
Everything, but everything. I will not have a hamburger without mayonnaise.
No, you can't. Do you ever put mayonnaise on?
Tomato, onion, mustard, mayonnaise, sometimes ketchup, onion rings, onion straws, barbecue sauce, an egg. I did one the other day. I put chicken strips. I put
Well, the burger that you said on Sunday, I was like, oh my God, I wish I could eat a bun. That looks so good.
And sometimes I'll make a Philly steak. The meat, the pepper, and put that on top of a burger. Like whatever I can put on a burger, I will.
No, your smoked brisket. When I was watching you this summer, I was like, holy shit, I need to drive down to Bend because that looks so good. Dude, you should start your own freaking cookout business on the side. What's your favorite beverage?
Favorite beverage? Water.
So are you only a Pendleton guy, like with whiskey?
Yeah, that's all I drink. I try to drink tequila and stuff, but I think I'm allergic to tequila. I break out misdemeanors and felonies. So like you can't like at my bar, my normal bar, anybody who tried to buy me a shot would be 86, and anybody who served me a shot would be fired instantly because the owners were like, he cannot have tequila. Like there's certain liquors, and I'm safe with Pendleton. Like I'm a happy guy.
There you go.
Pendleton, and I'm not gonna punch anybody really.
Yeah, any alcohol is bad for me. I get really mean on it, so I just stay away from it. So and then this one's like depends on each person. Where'd you get your nickname? Is it just because of your last name?
Oh yeah, my last name, Gunzz.
Okay, Gunzz.
So Gunzz. Yeah, my real nickname, like on the streets, is Slim. Out in Portland, I've been Slim since I was 15 years old, and that's because I was super duper skinny growing up. I was tall, but I wasn't a big dude. But my nickname's Slim. But yeah, Jimmy Gunzz is just Jimmy Gunderson.
Yeah,
So
mine's TikTok.
uh
Tic Tac because my dick size.
Jesus.
I was setting that up all day, and I knew you're the kind of guy I could get with that joke.
Oh God.
How did that start? Somebody called me Tic Tac like one day because I don't know. And no, it was that guy I was talking about. His name's Willie. And he's like, Tic Tac. And I like looked at him. I'm like, what the fuck is that for? And he goes, I don't know. And then he called me again. And somebody goes, why is he calling you Tic Tac? And I was like, because my dick's that big. And they go, and they just start dying laughing. And I'm like, I've stuck with it ever since. Nobody calls me that.
But skinny jeans because it looks like you're smuggling a half a roll of dimes. Like
no, it's like the gray sweatpants thing. Like I can't wear it. It just looks like I look like a girl. It's terrible.
And cut next.
It's live, baby. All right, I'm gonna let you go with this final question. What's your favorite sports movie?
Pistol Pete, Birth of a Legend.
That's a really good movie. Nobody ever says that.
Really good movie. That movie had me sleeping with my basketball. That movie took me from kind of playing to 8 hours a day, man.
I remember like you hold the bat, you clap, and then catch it.
Yeah, pop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing. Well, Jimmy, do you have anything to promote before we get off?
Yeah, December 5th, we're gonna be doing we got Scott. He's battled brain tumors his whole life. So we're doing the Gunzz show charity auction December 5th. So Saturday, 4 p.m. Pacific. And I do my regular gun shows every Saturday, 4 p.m. Sometimes I take a week off because I decide, I just don't want to do it. I'd rather hang out with kids or whatever. But Saturdays, 4 p.m. That's where I be at, man. That's where I shine. That's where I have fun. You came in last week, and
I'll be there next week. It was so fun. I didn't.
You don't have to have money. You don't have to buy anything. People. I do my $20 packs. And it's just first person to call 20. If somebody sees a car that they know is going to go for more than 20 and they call 20 and then somebody else goes 21, 22, the person who called 20 gets the free bag.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to drop something. Wise, I'm excited for the hockey. When I said hockey, the next time I have you on, we'll have to pronounce hockey names because that'll be fun.
Oh gosh,
so you were killing me when you were talking about Guy Lafleur, and I told you it was like G-E, and you're like G. No, it's Guy. It's Guy Lafleur, just like Patrick.
Wow.
Oh, it throws me off like terrible. I have a good friend. He's been on the show a few times. He's actually like probably one of my best friends. We met playing Call of Duty in NHL. He's 17 from like tiny, like butt fuck zero Alberta, like Canada. But we play video games and everything. And he's been on Talk Sports with me, and he's French Canadian. He speaks both. So I'll be like playing hockey or talking to him about it, and I'm butchering names. And then he's like, "This is how you say them," and I'm like, why would you say that? Because there's a guy who plays for the LA Kings.
What about all those other letters? You're just gonna pretend they're not there, or you're gonna change the? Yeah, that's so weird, man.
It's interesting, but anyways, everybody, I will be back. I will be streaming live on Twitch as soon as I get off here. If you want to come and join me, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Nobody does anyways. But I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Jimmy's gonna get the fuck out of here. And brother, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. And before I leave, check out everythinghockey.com. If you use code JustMitchin, you get 10% off of your order. And right now they're doing buy 3 hoodies, get 1 free.
There you go. That's awesome.
Out of here.